If you're an AI builder or freelancer struggling to land clients, or you're out there chasing one project after another just trying to keep the lights on, then pay close attention. Because in this video, I'm going to take you through the exact AI consulting playbook that took me from 0 to consistent 10K months in under 90 days. And I'm not talking about grinding 80-hour weeks or hustling on Upwork for $15 an hour. I'm talking about positioning yourself as an AI consultant who commands premium prices for high-value systems. For those who don't know me, I'm Lindsay Gonzalez. I'm an AI consultant, and over the last year, I've deployed more than 50 AI automation systems across multiple industries and brought home over $100,000 in revenue. But here's the thing, it wasn't always like this. A little over a year ago, I was working a 9-to-5 doing marketing at a small installation company and pulling in $50,000 a year. And look, that might sound okay on paper, but after rent, groceries, and credit card bills, I was basically broke. I had a ton of debt. Every time I had to buy something, I would check my bank account first just to make sure I could afford it. I was feeling depressed, and my life felt like Groundhog Day. Wake up, go to work, come home, shower, and repeat. During that time, I was learning how to build AI agents on the side so that I could eventually quit my job. But things were hard, like really hard. I was drowning in YouTube tutorials and felt completely lost. I didn't know where to start. So I found mentorship with a couple of guys, people I actually still partner with today, who taught me how to package my AI skills into a clear, sellable offer that I could sell repeatedly without reinventing the wheel each time. And within a few weeks of working with them, I could build pretty much any automation that you can think of. That's how fast you can learn something when you have the right mentors guiding you. Then a few days later, I applied on Upwork and landed my first client, who needed an AI agent for real estate marketing. I got paid $4,000 for that project, and I was like, okay, this is real. I could actually make a living doing this. But here's the problem with Upwork. I was trading my time for money instead of getting paid based on the value I provided. It felt like another 9-to-5. So I decided to try cold emailing. I pulled 250 leads, sent out all of my emails, and got nothing. 0 responses. I was frustrated as hell. Then I started thinking maybe they're not interested in what I'm selling or I'm reaching out to the wrong people. So I found another mentor that helped me with lead generation. He gave me his email scripts, sales frameworks, and SOPs on how to price my systems, and 2 weeks later, I signed my first major project. An accountant that needed an Airtable database set up to automate SMS and email communication. I got paid $5,000 for something that only took me a few hours to build. It was unreal. And the best part? I could sell that same automation that I'd already built to any business that needed it. This was the first time I started charging based on the value I provided. And within about 2 weeks, I hit $10,000 in a month. That's when my life changed completely. I could finally quit my 9-to-5 and work at home in my Snuggie with my cat. I paid off a bunch of debt. I stopped worrying about bills. I could help out my niece when she needed money for gas or expenses. I could afford some luxuries. And most importantly, I could work only on projects that actually excited me, which made my work much more enjoyable. Now I know a lot of you are probably wondering, how did you do that? How is that even possible? Well, that's exactly why I made this video, to break down the exact method I used to land $5,000 a month AI consulting clients, so that you can do the same. If you want to actually land a client, you need 4 things: the right niche, a killer offer, consistent outreach, and a sales process that actually closes. Let me break down exactly how I've used this to build consistent 5-figure months. Let's go. Start with what you know. Pick a niche you understand, either because you've worked in it, you have connections in it, or someone close to you does. I started with insulation companies because I literally worked for one. Then I expanded to similar home service businesses: HVAC, pest control, roofing. Here's the key. You're not getting married to this niche. You're taking action. The niche must have painful, expensive problems. Problems that keep the business owner up at night. Problems that cost them real money. And service-based businesses are your sweet spot. Why? They're not paying for materials. Higher profit margins means they can afford to pay you more. Your first move? Talk to real business owners. Start with your warm network. People you know, or people who know people you know. Ask them, what are your top 3 daily frustrations? What keeps you up at night staring at the ceiling? Where is your business bleeding time or money? Write down everything. These conversations are gold. They're telling you exactly what to build and how much they're willing to pay for it. Once you know the painful problems, figure out how to solve them. Partner with AI. Use ChatGPT or Claude or whatever LLM that you vibe with. Then learn the tools. I use N8N and Claude Code for building workflows, but there are tons of options. And here's the priority. Pick the problem that will make them more money. If you can increase their revenue, they'll pay you high ticket and keep you around. Saving time is good, saving money is good, but making them more money, That is the golden ticket. Build a solution. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just build a working prototype. Then go back to the business owners and say, hey, remember that painful problem you told me about? I built a solution. Want to try it for free for a month? I just ask that I can use your results as a case study. If you love it, we'll talk about payment. If not, no problem. This is your beta offer. You get real results, real testimonials, and real case studies. That is your rocket fuel. Once you've got your first win, reach out to similar businesses. If you built something for a restaurant, reach out to more restaurants. If you solved a problem for an HVAC company, start with other HVAC companies and then expand to related home service businesses. Use this exact format. Hey, name, I built specific solution to solve specific problem for business type. I was able to generate specific result without specific blocker. I'm confident I can get you the same results or better. And I'm so confident that if I don't deliver, you don't pay. Interested? Volume is the name of the game. Get your offer in front of hundreds or thousands of people. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, school, cold email, wherever your target audience hangs out. Do this consistently. Every single day. This isn't a post once and hope strategy. This is systematic outreach until you have more calls than you can handle. When someone says yes to a call, your job is to understand their problem better than they do. Record the call with Fathom or something similar so that you have a transcript. Ask questions like, what made you book this call? What's not working the way you want it to? Where are you or your team spending time that could be automated? Where are leads falling through the cracks? What's this costing you in time, in energy, in growth? What have you tried already? Why didn't it work? Ask why over and over again until you get to the root issue, and then reflect it back. So just to reflect what I'm hearing, summarize pain points. It sounds like you're looking for desired outcome, but right now you're stuck at bottleneck. And if that was fixed, it would unlock freedom, growth, revenue. Is that right? Then say, this gives me a really clear picture. I'll map out some solutions and I'll email you in the next hour. Sound good? Then send 2 things. Number 1, a proposal formatted like this. First 70%, restate their pain points and the impact. That could be financial, emotional, operational. The next 20% is your solution. So that's scope and deliverables, no jargon. The next 5% is the timeline, and the last 5% is the investment and terms. And number 2, a 5-minute loom showing the skeleton of the solution that you built in N8N or Claude Code or wherever. Let them see it. Let them feel the excitement of their problem being solved, and price based on financial impact. If your system makes them an extra $5,000 a month, charge $10,000 for the build plus a $500 a month retainer. They'll get ROI in 2 months. If it saves them 10 hours a week, about $300 in labor, that's $16,000 a year saved. Charge $1,600 upfront plus $250 a month to maintain it. You don't need a fancy website or logo or proposal template. You just need a Google Doc and a Stripe link. Businesses don't care about fancy. They care about making money. If you can help them do that, that's all you need. That's it. 4 parts. Choose a niche you know, build something that makes them money, reach out to hundreds of people, and then get on calls, understand their pain, and present a solution that solves it. That's how I went from 0 to consistent 5-figure months as an AI consultant. And if I can do it, so can you. Okay, before we get into the things that are stopping you from signing clients, let me show you why this is such a massive opportunity right now. The AI automation market is projected to hit $244 billion in 2026. That's billion with a B, and it's not slowing down. The market is estimated to grow at 26.6% annually through the end of 2031. In other words, businesses are rushing to automate their processes, and the demand for AI automation is through the roof. Take Dimitro, one of my students, for example. Just 1 week ago, he landed a $6,000 a month deal with 0 testimonials, working just a few hours a day. So you're probably wondering, if this opportunity is so huge, why do most people struggle to actually land clients? Here's what I've noticed after talking to tons of AI builders. Most people who try to do this alone, before they become that $10,000 a month AI consultant working for just a few hours a day, they have to go through 3 painful phases. And honestly, probably only about 1 in 10,000 make it through. I know that sounds crazy, but let me break it down for you. So here's what happens in the first phase. You finally know how to build stuff, you're excited, and you think, all right, time to get clients. You send out a few proposals on Upwork, fire off some cold emails, maybe do a follow-up or 2 when you remember, and then nothing. 0 replies. Most people quit right there. This is what I call the builder's trap. Now, it's not because they're lazy. There are actually 2 things going on. First, deep down, they know that even if they manage to book a call, they will probably not close the deal. Why? Because they have no idea how to package their AI skills into a clear, sellable offer, which means they don't know how to price their services. So they either try to overcharge and get ghosted, or they get underpaid. There are so many options for what they can sell that they get paralyzed, and they have no clue what results to actually promise, which could lead to setting the wrong expectations, damaging their reputation, and losing their client. And second, they're not sure if they're actually reaching out to the right businesses that are actually interested in what they're selling. However, after 4 to 8 months of watching hundreds of hours of YouTube tutorials and going through tons of trial and error, only about 5 to 10% of them actually figure enough out to get out of this phase and move to the second one, which I call the valley of rejection. This is where things get interesting. They finally feel confident, so they start sending out a bunch of cold emails. And just when they're about to celebrate, 2 new problems smack them in the face. First, nobody's getting back to them. And I get it. When hundreds of other people are reaching out to exactly the same businesses with basically the same message, you just blend into the noise. And second, after sending like 1,000 cold emails, they finally book a call. But then reality hits. They can't close the deal because they have no idea how to actually run their sales calls or explain why their solution is worth paying for. So after grinding for another 6 months to a year, sending tens of thousands of cold emails, and bombing 20 to 50 sales calls that should have closed for at least $3,000 a month, only about 10 to 20% of them eventually start getting decent replies and actually closing deals. And that's how they move on to the third phase, which I call the manual grind. Okay, so now they're making good money and they actually quit their 9 to 5. Sounds awesome, right? Except they're working 12 hours a day, which makes it feel impossible to scale past $10,000 a month. And they end up feeling worse than they did at their 9 to 5. Here's why they're trapped. Number one, they're spending hours every day on cold outreach, manually researching businesses, copying email addresses into spreadsheets, and crafting individual cold emails because they don't know how to effectively automate it. And two, they're taking a whole week to build something for a client when it should only take a couple hours because they don't know how to productize their services. Every project feels like they're starting from scratch. This is the phase where most people get stuck forever, and only about 15 to 25% of people manage to break through and scale past $10,000 a month. And the ones who don't, they burn out completely and lose everything that they built, which brings us to only 0.01% of AI builders becoming a $10,000 a month AI consultant. The ones who make it are either grinding 24/7 for over a year, or they have someone who's already where they want to be, showing them the way to the top so that they can skip all 3 of those painful phases. And that's exactly why I created my one-on-one mentorship program, to take you by the hand and help you hit $10,000 a month sustainably in under 90 days while only working a few hours a day. And if you don't hit that goal, I'll keep working with you for free until you do. That's my guarantee to you. Here's what you get when you join my one-on-one mentorship: a deep audit call where I get a deep understanding of where you are and together identify your gaps to build a step-by-step 90-day roadmap that's tailored to you. One-on-one calls whenever you need, so I can give you personalized guidance. 24/7 direct access to me on WhatsApp to get your questions answered very quickly so that you never feel stuck. 2 weekly small group calls to keep you accountable and get your questions answered. My proven SOPs that help me generate over $100,000 in revenue and close $5,000 a month retainers in the last year. A collection of 30 plus pre-built AI agents that you can sell repeatedly to any business, each one representing at least 20 hours of work that I've already done for you. Access to an exclusive community of highly dedicated AI consultants so that you can collaborate with them directly. And as a bonus, I'm throwing in free access to my paid course, which is normally $497. Now let's tackle some of the most common questions that I'm getting about my program. First one: hey Lindsay, I've got a 9 to 5 and kids, so I only have about 2 hours a day to work on my AI business. Can I still make this work? Yes, absolutely. In fact, most of my students are in the exact same situation. They have full-time jobs, families, and limited time. The whole point of the program is to help you work smarter and not harder. Here's why 2 hours a day is enough. First, you're not wasting time trying to figure things out on your own. I give you my exact SOP, so you're not spending weeks or months in trial and error. Second, I show you how to automate your outreach, so you're not manually sending hundreds of cold emails every day. And third, I teach you how to productize your offer and give you 30 plus pre-built AI agents, which means you can deliver solutions in hours instead of days or weeks. So instead of working 12-hour days like most AI consultants are stuck doing, you can become a $10,000 a month AI consultant working just a few hours a day. The key is focused action with the right system, not more hours. I paid for a mentorship program before and got zero support. Why should I trust this one? I hear you, and some of my students have been scammed too. And honestly, that frustrates me because it gives real mentorship a bad name. Here's the thing, my success is directly tied to your success. When my students win, I win. When they get results, they tell other people. When they transform their lives, they become proof that what I teach actually works. Every student who hits $10,000 a month will send me 3 to 5 referrals without me even asking. That's why I can't afford to take your money and disappear. Last month, I closed enrollment when all 10 spots were filled, and I had to say no to a lot of people who wanted to join. Why? Because I want to be able to give everyone my full attention and to make sure that every single person gets to $10,000 a month as an AI consultant within 90 days. If I wasn't laser focused on getting you results, why would I offer a guarantee that if you don't get to $10,000 a month within 90 days, that I'll keep working with you for free until you do? You see, most mentors are focused on their revenue. I'm focused on your results. So the reason this is different is simple. Your success is my business model, not just collecting payments. So now you've got two choices. You can either spend another year trying to figure this out on your own, making all the beginner mistakes, and missing out on all of those $3,000 a month retainers that you could be closing. Plus, more and more people are jumping into this space every day, which makes landing clients even harder. Honestly, if I were starting my AI consulting journey today instead of a year ago, I'd probably make 5 times less in my first year than I do now. The truth is, it's only a matter of time before the space gets completely saturated and you stay stuck at your 9 to 5. And the second choice is you can book a free strategy call using the link down below and let me guide you to hitting $10,000 a month sustainably within 90 days by skipping all of the trial and error so that you can finally quit your soul draining 9 to 5 that's stealing your time and killing your energy. Work from anywhere, whether that's a beach in Bali, a cafe in Paris, or your couch at home. Set your own schedule without begging for time off, dragging yourself out of bed at 7 a.m., or missing what matters. Be your own boss without taking orders from someone who couldn't care less about you or your family. Stop constantly checking your bank account and give your kids the childhood they deserve without breaking their heart with, "We can't afford it." But here's the thing. I work very closely with everyone I take on and give each person my full attention to make sure that they actually succeed. Because of that, I can only work with 10 people at a time. So if the link below isn't working anymore, it probably means that all the spots have already been taken. So book a call now before it's too late. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.